Listen to me. Welcome to Wrestle Rant HD. I'm your host, Angelo Demetrius. This is America's #1 professional wrestling rant show. And we have got a great week in professional wrestling. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This week wasn't that great, but it was good enough to make you want to watch TLC at least. Hey, I got to admit, I'm hyped up about a bi-monther, and that doesn't happen very often. I'm hyped up about tables, ladders, and chairs. Mostly because of the tables, the ladders, and the chairs. Now, I got to talk about this at the top of the program. Mark Henry and the Big Show. I love it. I love the story. I love the heat and intensity between the Big Show and Mark Henry. The world's strongest man versus the largest athlete in the world. I love this rivalry. I also love the fact that Mark Henry can prove that he's unpredictable. Now, you expected him to hit Jack Swagger with a steel chair, right? I did. You never expected him to hit the cameraman with the steel chair. Mark Henry, you do deserve to be World Heavyweight Champion. You keep doing stuff like that, you might just end up in the Hall of Fame. Now, let's move on because we have so many things to talk about this week. Well, not really that many. It's kind of going to be a short show this week, but that's okay. A lot in a little bit of show. Now, what was up with Booker T dancing with JR on Monday Night Raw? Hey, listen, JR, be careful. Doing things like a spinny Rooney could be bad for your health. We wouldn't want you to have a stroke or Rooney. JR, I love you, man, but leave the spinner Roonies to Booker T. Okay? What was up with CM Punk? He comes out to that music, and instantly I hear "You Got the Touch," and all I can think of is Vince McMahon's voice coming out of the back. Arise, CM Punk. And CM Punk takes the wrestling matrix of leadership known as the WWE title and opens it and lightens our darkest hour in professional wrestling. Yes! And as Cup said in the movie, I knew you had potential, lad. CM Punk has definitely taken professional wrestling to new heights. And I believe that CM Punk is going to make you remember that this is professional wrestling, not the movie industry. Vince McMahon, if you want to make movies, fine. But let us have professional wrestling. Give us CM Punk for a captain to lead us in professional wrestling. CM Punk, you do have the touch. Now, I got to rant about this. Listen, the Slammies are just alright with me. I don't mind them. I don't mind the Slammy Awards at all. I think they ought to be done. But not on Monday Night Raw. There is no reason for a 3-hour travesty known as the Slammies. Biggest travesty in television ever. If you must do the Slammies, do them at the annual Hall of Fame event before WrestleMania. Why? Because it makes sense. Who knows? You might even give a legend a Slammy. Slammies are good, not Monday Night Raw. Good, not 3-hour time slot good. Okay, WWE? Okay, moving right along. Now, how many of you saw Kane make his comeback? How many of you saw the Big Red Machine come back out with the mask on? How long has it been since we've seen Kane with the mask? And I'm sorry, but while Kane was gone, did he grow hair? Well, you know what they say. Hair today, gone tomorrow. In this case, no hair today, hair tomorrow. Anyway, Kane is back. Bigger and better than ever. Now, some say it's Isaac Yankem still. I say, are you sure? Because it looks like the original Kane to me. That original Kane that came out and stood face to face with The Undertaker as Paul Bearer turned his back on his only son, The Undertaker. Either way, I like it. No pun intended, but I think it's hot. Kane coming back in a huge, major way. Oh yeah, the Big Red Machine is back. This is wrestlerant HD. Welcome back to wrestlerant HD, America's #1 professional wrestling rant show. Now, we got to talk about something that is so important to me and this country. I love when WWE does tribute to the troops, and I got to admit, I'm not a big fan of all the tribute to the troops shows for this reason. WWE normally doesn't stick to the storyline when they do these shows. They're just hype shows. Hey, I love when they do tribute to the troops. I think we ought to salute our troops in some form or fashion or another. WWE being brave enough to go overseas, even in a time of war, and do this is quite admirable and quite honorable. And thank you, WWE, for doing that. And thank you to the troops for fighting for our nation. Because you, certainly more than anybody in the whole world, deserve to be honored. Here's to you. But let me say this. I love what WWE did this past tribute to the troops, because they made it the best one ever. This tribute to the troops was just like a pay-per-view on television, and I loved it. The scenery, the stage, the fireworks. It was the pageantry of many past WrestleManias all in one. WWE did a great job saluting our troops this past week. And I look forward to more tribute to the troops shows like this in the future. Good job, WWE. Now, I gotta say something. WWE, why are you jobbing David Otunga? I mean, sure, his mic skills stink. Sure, his wrestling leaves something to be desired. Okay, maybe he's just good for the resident ambulance chaser. I get it. But do you have to put this man in a position to be broken up, beaten up, and brawled up? I mean, David Otunga is so much more useful in other places like, I don't know, the concession stand. Maybe he needs somebody to mop up after the show's over, take the ring apart. Maybe wash the limousines while people are wrestling. Listen, David's a nice guy. Don't put him in there with those guys. Don't put him in there with John Cena. Don't put him in with Mason Ryan. Guys like that, you could get him hurt. Not only that, his lack of wrestling ability might show. Looking out for you there, Dave. Now, I want to talk about something that happened on Friday Night SmackDown that I'm very sad about. Natalya, I noticed that after your match, you came up short. Well, that is, your hair came up short. You see, Natalya, I want to make sure that this never happens to you again. Natalya, I'm sorry that ever happened to you. And so, Natalya, I want to make sure that the only thing that happens to you in the future is that you're successful in all of your matches. Natalya, from me to you, a very special Christmas gift to make sure that your hair never comes out at an event again. Take a look at this.
Tired of boring, flat hair? Introducing Bead Weave. Bead Weave isn't only a beautiful hair extension, but has tiny beads made from real diamonds.
Those aren't real diamonds.
Yes, they are.
Bead Weave is easy to use. Simply wrap the bead weave around your wrist just like a scrunchie, then slip it out, creating a ponytail or bun.
Wear it in the bathtub,
In the kitchen,
while doing your laundry,
in the snow. Can I come in now?
This beautiful piece of fake hair can be yours for 7 small payments of $9.99.
Call now and we'll throw in these beautiful scrunchies in designer colors such as
Mud,
polar bear,
blood,
mustard,
and polluted river.
Call 1-800-555-HAIR for your bead weave and your scrunchies while supplies last. That's 1-800-555-HAIR.
Side effects may include nausea, diarrhea, and losing all your friends. Call now.
That was just a little gift from me to you, Natalya. Hey, please, you don't have to thank me. You will later when your hair stays in your head. Just looking out for Bret Hart's niece. Now, you've been watching wrestlerant HD, America's #1 professional wrestling rant show. wrestlerant HD will be off until after the new year. So you won't get your dose of wrestlerant HD until after the new year. Until then, I look forward to seeing you, professional wrestling fans, with me, another great professional wrestling fan, in the year 2012. I can't wait to see what happens to professional wrestling in the year 2012. Until we meet again, let me say this. Merry Christmas to all professional wrestling fans, and yes, to Vince McMahon and the WWE and TNA and all the great independent professional wrestling promotions. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you that tune in to wrestlerant HD each and every week. And may you have a happy and blessed new year. This is Angelo Demetrius signing off for the year 2011. wrestlerant HD. I will see you next year.